Hi, this is Dan Root with QT Equipment, and we are here today with the T380 from Kenworth. This truck was manufactured in February of 2021, and it's not for sale yet. This is the new model that is eventually going to replace the T370, which I've got next to me here. They're going to start building a couple of these a day, I guess, in July. And they're going to ramp up over the rest of the year as they get it figured out and customer demand goes forward. We're going to see just a couple of highlights on this video. We do have one of these on order, not like this. It's not going to be a 4x4. It's going to be white. When we get that one in, we'll do a full video and look at all the nooks and crannies in this thing. But since we had it here, I thought it was cool and I wanted to show you guys. These are some beefy Michelin tires. Not sure that we would spec these on one of our stock units, but they are very cool. And I really do like these Alcoa rims here. Those look really tough. I also noticed that the Michelin tires have RFID chips in them. I didn't really get a chance to research that too much, but I guess Michelin has a program for putting RFID chips in tires to improve maintenance, which is pretty cool. We'll look at that later. A couple of nice things underneath here is you've got really convenient access to the battery terminals. You can see your windshield wiper fluid right just walking next to the truck, and easy to fill that up. You don't need to lift the hood for your windshield wiper fluid. Your engine options here are the same as what's in the current T370. That's the PX7 and the PX9. That's a Cummins built engine that is branded for PACCAR, and PACCAR's done a similar thing on this truck with the transmission. This transmission is a PACCAR transmission, but it's built by a company called ZF in Germany, and they build all kinds of stuff, but they're very good at building automatic transmissions. The Allison 3000 RDS transmission that we normally stock as our standard automatic transmission is still available, and that's a good thing because right now with this truck we're not sure what our PTO options would be, and pretty much everything that we run needs a PTO. For the foreseeable future for us, we're going to stick with the Allison 3000 until the PTO adoption gets figured out, and maybe we'll look at running the ZF transmission. It is supposed to give you about 8% increased fuel economy. When we crawled underneath here, there's plenty of room on the right side of the transmission for the PTO on the pump. The left side of the transmission looks a little cramped. So, and again, this is a first run of this truck. Things change as they go on, but we'll have no problem getting a PTO on the right side. Some applications we do require dual PTOs, and that's something that we would have to figure out going forwards. And I just noticed trying to close the hood that the hood lock is different. I couldn't see it at first. The old one had a little metal piece, but this has more of a shock, and push that up and then you can close the hood. There's going to be 1,000 of these little details I'm sure we'll find. We won't go through all these in this video here, but it is a different truck. On this fuel tank, this is a kind of a D-shaped fuel tank. It's still the same capacity, 50 gallons is the other one, but it's supposed to give the driver better egress out. It is tucked in nicely here so that you can get in and out of the truck a little easier. The def's tucked in nicely too, so that you don't have anything protruding off the back of the cab. I mean, you've got a couple of inches with the DPF, maybe 3 or 4 inches back there, but no problem being able to set a service body on the back of these. So I was going to jump into the cab and show you a couple things there, but how could we not talk about this bumper? This is a zombie apocalypse bumper. I got a friend in New York that would love to have this bumper on his truck, but he wouldn't call it a bumper. He would call it a bumper, because that's what it is. But it's, I'm pretty sure this is a factory option that you can get from Kenworth with this braid-in winch, and it's also got a nice compartment here for any of your chains and anything else that you may need. Not sure if this would be on a lot of service trucks, but I'm sure there's a couple guys out there that would love to have this. When we get inside the cab is way different than the T370. One of the biggest things is that the cab is larger. They've gone from 1.9 meters to 2.1 meters, and you wouldn't think that that would make a big difference, but I'm not really good at the metric system, and so that's going from 75 inches to 83 inches roughly, and it does make a difference when you get in that cab. It does feel a little bit more spacious. Actually, I noticed it only when I got back in the T370. I looked around and I was like, man, this is definitely smaller. So you do get a little bit more room in the cab. You've got some storage that's up above, which is nice, that you didn't have before. You'll notice that the pedals are on the old T370. The pedals are on the floor, and these pedals are up off the floor. And I guess one of the reasons that they've done that is that if you're in the field, and especially if you're working around, some of these trucks work around hazardous chemicals, that all that stuff's going to be on your boots, and then it gets into the mechanics of the brake pedals, and that can cause havoc. So getting the brake pedals and the gas pedal off the floor should be nice for a lot of people. Let's get in here and we can point out a couple more things. This is an air ride cab, and that's something that you could not get in a Kenworth before. So you got the air ride cab, and then this is just a more automotive feel inside this truck. It's way different than the T370s. You really have to see it to appreciate it. It's clean, it's nice, it's a lot more plastic than the other one. Was lot more kind of old school truck-like. This is more modern. I think some people are going to like it. Some people are going to complain about it. Overall, you've got nice automotive style temperature controls and switches. You've got several controls here for cruise control and your music and everything right on the steering wheel. To change gears, you're going to turn this, which is a little bit different, but I drove it around the lot and it works good. The Allison, I imagine, is going to still have the push button. Inside the cab, it's definitely more spacious. The look and feel is different, and that's going to be down to a personal preference thing. Again, some guys are going to like it, some guys are going to like the old school truck side. I'm going to switch places with my video dude here, and he's going to show you the controls. Again, the T370, more of an old school dial. This has got a lot more electronics and looks like more like a passenger car. So he's going to get in, start it up, and show you what it looks like. Kenworth has a navigation system that's available that comes with this nice screen. This can also get incorporated with a backup camera. You can't buy the backup camera from Kenworth, but there's multiple backup cameras that will interface with that. I don't think you get sensors, which are nice in a lot of situations. I mean, we like them on our passenger cars. So I don't think the sensors incorporate with this, but this is a clean way of doing a backup camera. You'll notice behind me, you've got a big window on the back and then two smaller windows on the side. The corner windows have been eliminated as an option, so you can't get that anymore. But you can get these additional windows on the sides. They've also done an upgrade to the wiring on this. This is a multiplex wiring. They explained it to me. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I know that you can program these switches to do a lot of different things. You can do that at the dealer. So we'll be learning more about that and what's available as we go along. But the switches are backlit and they have the ability to be programmed after the factory, which is pretty cool. As far as pricing goes, we don't have final pricing on these yet, but they're telling me that base model to base model, T370 to T380, the price is not going to go up by much. And we know that the price of steel and everything else has been going up a lot this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if the number that they gave me was a little higher, but it was less than $1,000. But there are going to be more options on the T380 that you're going to be able to add on that will drive pricing higher. So Pricing remains to be seen, but there's a lot of changes on this truck and a lot to learn. We only have a few more minutes until the driver needs to leave, so I'm going to get out of this cab and we're going to wrap this up. We'll be shooting more in-depth video on this later in the year when we receive our demo unit. Thank you to the video dude for getting here on such short notice. Thank you to Whiteford Kenworth. You can find us on Instagram at QT Equipment, Facebook QT Equipment, or our website qtequipment.com. Work dirty, be happy. Until next time.